Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cover 4 podcast, the first one for 25-26. I'm Jim Trickett, along with my partner in crime out in Provo, Utah, Randy Gibson, and got a lot of stuff to talk about and not a lot of time to do it in.
Yeah, boy, talk about getting the college football season kicked off big time. I know we'll talk a lot about some of this stuff, but last week, Big 12 opener, actually, Kansas State and Iowa State over across waters in Ireland. It was a
Yep.
good game. Um, Old Big 12 versus new Big 12 last night. Nebraska taking on Cincinnati,
Mm-hmm.
and some couple of big ones for week one. SEC Big Ten matchup coming up. I know we're going to talk a lot about.
Yeah, we are. First of all, Tahlequah opens the season tonight. They take on East Central Cardinals beginning at 7 up at Gable Field, Doc Wadley Stadium. That'll be the first game of the year. They start week 0. Quirk in the scheduling last year, so had to open up on week 0, but they get week 3 off. They will play East Central tonight at home and go to Sapulpa and then face the Wagner Bulldogs here on the 12th, minus Dale Condit, who's now the head coach of the Muskogee Roughers.
Hmm.
So be a little different for Wagner,
Yeah,
but
will.
Dale took the job over Muskogee when Travis Hill left and went to Broken Arrow, and Dale's got a guy who we are familiar with. Played up at Locust Grove, uh, Mason Fine.
Hmm.
He is the offensive coordinator for the Roughers. So
Very
might have
good.
brought some stuff not only from Seth Luttrell, a former Rougher himself, when he was
Hmm.
coaching at North Texas, but maybe even a sprinkling of some stuff from north of the border
Hmm.
because Mason played 3 years for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
That'd be kind
And
of interesting to bring some of the Canadian stuff down here and see what happens.
well, the problem of it is you can't go in motion toward the line of scrimmage like you can up in Canada, and they have multiple guys going line of scrimmage. If you can watch the games on uh, CBS Sports Network, in fact, they'll be on probably Sunday uh, with a
Hmm.
ball game. So it's Labor Day weekend up there, just like here. So Tigers open tonight. Uh, then have to put my cheaters on here because had to have laser surgery on my left eye. Had scar tissue, and so I can't wear my contact for about a week. So that's the reason for these guys.
Got the
Another
got the
team that
helpers.
opens tonight. Uh, Hubbard Riders open the season. They will travel to Haskell and take on the Haymakers. Hopefully, improve on a 1-9 record that they had a year ago. Sequoia will not open until next week. They will be home at Thompson Field, and they're going to take on a very strong team out of Arkansas, the Prairie Grove Tigers, out of Class 4A over there in Arkansas. They'll be the opening opponent for the Indians. That'll be 7 o'clock next Friday night out at Thompson Field. And then the Keys Cougars, they will open as well uh, next Friday night out at Jerry Hood Stadium. They'll take on the Gore Pirates to start the season. So they'll go Gore, then go to Stillwell, and then the Battle of Ada of Cherokee County on the 19th, as they will host the Sequoia Indians down at
So
Key.
high school kicking it off good. Um,
Yeah, they are.
yeah, really good. Even some of the bigger schools I saw where in week 0, Bixby took down Owasso. That was 2 battles up in the Tulsa metro area.
Uh,
So
that was, I was talking to Tom Eckert just a little while ago and said it was 21-0 before you had your popcorn open.
wow, wow,
So they played that one at Skelly Stadium last night,
did they?
Tulsa. So be interesting. I'll talk about TU here in a minute. But
Yeah. Before we can leave high school, though, just want to
yeah,
mention Tahlequah High's got a bond vote coming up on
yes,
September
they
the
do.
9th and it's going to be an
September
important
9th
one.
for a $51 million bond throughout the district, but
Mm-hmm.
24 million of it is for a new home for the Tahlequah Tigers. Now, a few years ago, I would have said no to this, but
Mm-hmm.
now I'm going to say, yeah, it's time. Uh, Matt Cloud has been working on this along with the administration for about a year. I talked to him about 3 weeks ago, and 5,000 seats on the north side, 1,500 on the south side. It'll include a new locker room facilities, new coaches facilities, uh, new scoreboard than what they currently have, which is mainly for JV and junior high games, but probably a big Daktronic scoreboard because they are fully Daktronic up there at Tahlequah, both
Mm-hmm.
in the TMAC, in on the baseball field and the softball field. So why change companies? Plus, you
Right.
also uh, the controllers they have, they are interchangeable, so they can use them for basketball. They can change it, make it
Mm-hmm.
baseball, softball, uh, and then football. Also, the other thing they'd have to have is they had to put play clocks in because they don't have play
Mm-hmm.
clocks.
Yeah.
So
You know, we've talked a lot about the upgrades needed at Gable Field and Doc Wadley, and some of that stuff hasn't changed since the
no,
70s. And so it's
really,
time. It's,
really 1964. That's
yeah,
when the stadium was
still.
built.
So hasn't changed really. New turf and
No,
stuff here and there, but um, it's time for the Tigers to have their own home.
yeah, that would leave the only two schools that I know of that play well. Really, three schools that have that share with the college is Bethany with Southern Nazarene,
Mm-hmm.
uh, then Paul Laird Field in Durant for the Durant Lions, and Norris Field at Ada for the Ada Cougars. They share with East Central, and Durant with Southeastern. And speaking about down that direction, just saw this from my buddy Jay Lindley down at who's also the broadcaster for Southeastern. He also doubles as the voice of the Sherman Bearcats down there in Texas across the Red River. And he said tonight is the final game at Bearcat Stadium for the battle for the axe.
Really?
That's Denison and Sherman.
Sherman. Yeah, that's a popular game for Texas down there.
Well, it's the final game of that series at Bearcat Stadium, where it's at. They must be getting a new field because I wouldn't be surprised because of all the building that's down that direction.
Mm.
Who's not to say that the Texas Highway Department is getting Bearcat Stadium?
I could see that. That area down there has been building up for the last 25, 30 years at
Yes.
least. So
Hmm.
it's turned into something phenomenal.
Yeah. So I would say the road is taking Bearcat Stadium. That would be
I
my
can see
guess.
that. Probably so.
And I asked him a long time ago. I said, "Why isn't there turf there?" There's a reason.
Mm.
It's in a floodplain.
Oh, okay. That
So that's the
explains it.
reason why it's still been grass, whereas
Hmm.
Denison has turf.
Hmm.
Yellow Jackets have turf on their field, but that's going to be strange either next year or the year and after that. The game's not played right there by US 75.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say you pass right by it on
Yeah,
75, headed in back into Oklahoma or out of Oklahoma, getting into Texas. Either way,
right. Mm-hmm.
sets right there.
Mm-hmm. Very, very interesting. I hadn't talked to him about it, so uh, we'll find out, see what happens.
Yeah.
Uh, College football, like we said,
Hmm.
uh, started last week with Iowa State and K State. Oklahoma State won last night in their opener 27-7 over UT Martin. Uh,
Yeah.
but
Had an
then
injury.
they've got to make that nice long trip to Otten Stadium and have to face the Ducks next week.
Yeah. And Oklahoma starting quarterback, I saw had an injury in the first half, right? That's not a good way to start the season for the Cowboys.
No, it's not. So be interesting to see what happens. Bill Haston had a thing earlier this week about Gundy. Uh, do not be surprised that this might be it for Mike.
Hmm.
That he says the heck with it, with all the things going on, similar to Nick
Hmm.
Saban.
Hmm.
And what he's saying is that Mike coaches this year and then signs a contract and is a new talent for ESPN.
That'd be
I
good.
could see that happening.
I could see that happening too. And Mike would be a good sports analyst for ESPN, I think.
Another one that I would like whenever he decides to get out of it, former head coach of the Razorbacks,
Hmm.
who's now the head coach at Illinois, Brett Bielema.
Hmm.
Bielema is, I watched him, when they had the coaches thing during the bowl games
Hmm.
and they had the cowboy clicker and everything. And let me tell you, he knows what he's talking about and puts it in layman's terms of, what is happening. And he decides to get out. Don't be surprised he's on the list either for ESPN or even Fox, with Fox having the Big Ten network.
Hmm. Yeah, could see that for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Now, the news flash. You don't know about this one, I don't think.
Okay.
Last night in Saginaw, Michigan, the Northeastern Redmen went to Saginaw Valley and beat the Cardinals 28-21.
Really?
Yes, sir. They scored 15 in the final 15 minutes, which
Wow.
included the winning score was with 3:22 left. Raymond McKinney Jr. on a 3-yard run to cap a 15 play, 99-yard drive.
Wow.
And then Sim Kilpatrick intercepted a pass in the end zone with 108 left to give the Redmen their first road win to start the season since 2010 when they defeated Tarleton in Stephenville 31-23. First season opening win since 2011 when they beat Bacone 43-0 up here at Gable Field and gave Darren Shiverini his first road win as head coach of the Redmen.
Holy cow. We're talking 15 years.
Yes. Levante Chenault, 11 catches for 162 yards and included the 2-point convert. And then Donnie Smith, the quarterback, 26 of 41 for 306.
Wow.
So
Haven't seen numbers like that for Northeastern in many years.
It's been a while.
It has.
And they were down 14-13 at half. It was 21-13 at the end of 3, and then they score 2 touchdowns and a 2-point convert to win the ball game 28-21. They'll be home Saturday night. They take on Missouri S&T, better known as Missouri Rolla. The Miners will come to town. 6 o'clock kickoff. You can watch it on the MIAA network. That's a pay-per-view thing. But the following week, they will make a trip. It'll be what I call a gate game. They will travel to the former home of the NCAA Division II championship game, Florence, Alabama, and take on North Alabama. And you can see the game on ESPN Plus.
Wow. So if Northeastern can pull it together, they've got a chance to have a really impressive opening to the season, don't they?
Yeah, they will play North Alabama in 2 weeks, then come back. They'll play Westgate Christian an off week. Then West Florida comes to Northeastern.
So what is the
independent? So
that's what I was getting ready to ask.
Independent.
They're still independent for this year, aren't they?
Right.
Which is why we're seeing these games that we don't normally see.
Right. But next year they've got to make a decision by the end of the football season whether to go back to the MIAA, possible. Could they be going to the Great American? If they do, they got to take somebody with them. My thoughts are Missouri Southern.
Mm-hmm.
They would like to get away from getting their heads caved in by the MIAA, similar to us. I know the GAC is talking with Scott Pettis about officiating. I don't know if they were calling 7-man crew or went to an 8-man, but they cut the pay scale for the referees to, I think he said $310 a game, which they may have went from $350 to $310, but they may have went to 8 officials. Now the MIAA calls with 8, just like you see on a Division I game.
Mm-hmm.
But the pay scale is like $450, something like that. It's one of the higher paying leagues in Division II.
I was reading where officials, the younger guys aren't becoming officials because lots of reasons, but pay is one of them. So I'm kind of surprised they're cutting.
A lot of it is the fans.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it. Now, here in the high schools, they're paying $125 for each guy. Mm-hmm. And if they could get more guys, uh, you're going to have guys that don't have to call Thursday night and Friday night
Mm-hmm.
because of the shortage. Uh, but they're making most places they're paying 100 and a quarter for 5 guys. Now you go into Texas, that's a whole different ball game
Yeah.
because it's done by gross gate receipts, and
Mm-hmm.
you get a big ball game down there. Uh, some guys could get a comma check.
Well, yeah. I mean, you get into some of those places like Midland, Odessa, or some of those big schools,
Mhm.
Plano, Lake
Yep,
Dallas. Some of those,
they have a
they're
different
huge.
you know different pay scale. You know during the regular season, if you're around, say like you are in the uh, Texas Association of Sports Officials. If you're from the Dallas chapter, they have a scale for calling games right there in the Dallas area. There's a Fort Worth chapter. There's a Waco chapter. There's one out in Temple. El Paso would have their own. Houston has their own. Uh, Stuff like that. If you go on to UIL Texas, that's the University Interscholastic League. That's the uh, governing body for the uh, high schools down there. Uh, you can click on to the officiating site, and it'll show you how much they make uh, per game, in football.
Mm-hmm.
And if it goes over like 20,500, I mean, everybody gets an extra 25 or 30. And a lot of these games, these big games, they're calling with 7-man crew.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then when they play the state championship game at Jerry's place, they bring in uh, the Southland Conference, and they do the replay. They
Mm.
only can do replay in the state championship game. That's it. None of the other games. So it's interesting to show that. Well, a lot we talked about. Uh, One thing is that there's going to be a change at OU with Joe Castiglione saying he's getting out.
Yep.
Uh, Speculation is possibly Trey Selman coming back home
Mm-hmm.
from Mississippi State. There's probably others that are in the mix. Uh, it'll be very interesting. See what happens.
It's going to be a big step. It's always one of those things, just like with the coaches. You don't want to be the guy that follows the guy, you
Right.
know. And Joe C has been the guy for over 25 years now. So he's going to got some big cleats to fill, shall we say. So
Yes. Very much so. And that's
this this is going to be a very, very important decision for the folks down in Norman.
yeah. And that starts at the top
Mm-hmm.
and
Sure
then goes
does.
from there. So it'll be very interesting. Uh, Tulsa with a new coach, Trey Lamb. They open up Saturday night. Uh, I know that one game I might try to go to, maybe, I don't know, would be I'd like to go up there for the Navy game.
Mm-hmm.
That
That'd
would
be
be a
fun.
good one.
It's always fun to watch the service schools.
Yes.
I've been to three of, well, two. Should have been to three. Should have went to Well, I did go to Army in Norman. I wanted to go to West Point, but that was the COVID year and it got canceled. But
Mm-hmm.
saw him play Army. I've seen him play Air Force a couple of times, and yeah, it's the service schools are always fun to watch.
Yep. Arkansas opens up tomorrow at home. They got Alabama A&M. That's a replacement for Missouri State. Missouri State has moved up to Division 1A. They're now in Conference USA, had to pay Arkansas 250,000 to get out of that. So that 250 will go to Alabama A&M plus maybe a little extra. The game will be on SEC Network. Dave Neal will call the play-by-play on that ball game. He talked with Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly on their show, Chuck and Bo, that you can see on YouTube. That's kind of like what we do. But theirs is live from 6 in the morning till 9 in the morning because it's also a radio show across the state of Arkansas. So they won't be on Monday. They'll be back on Tuesday. And Bo and Chuck is the voice of the Razorbacks. So be interesting to see what he says about the ball game come Tuesday. The only other news, was bad news. Was that our boy Ryan Helsley wound up getting traded by the St. Louis Cardinals. And
saw that.
Of the great Al Jerkins. Helsley is now a Mutt. He's now pitching for the New York Mets, or as Yankee fans call them, the Mutts.
Yep. That sounds just like the way I would say it too.
Yep, that's right. But I was hoping he would go to Texas, reunite with Mike Maddox down there. But maybe that's next year. And if Kyle Helsley, his brother, is listening, or somebody tells him about our podcast, a piece of advice for Ryan and his wife, Alex, who is a optometrist right now in the St. Louis suburbs. Sign with the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I'm saying this is if you would move to Texas, it would benefit both of them. And you know this as well as I do. There is no state income tax in
That's right.
the state of Texas.
That's right.
And
the 6 years I lived down there, that was a nice bonus. Yes. I will tell you.
Mm-hmm. And that would be a bonus for him because he's going to sign a big contract to get back to being a closer for somebody. And none better than get back under the wing of Mike Maddox, and he can straighten him out a little bit. But biggest thing is help him and help her in her practice. But I don't know how much she's practicing right now because
I don't know.
They had another kid.
Yeah.
So they got two. They got a girl and a boy.
I know we're sliding out of time, but one thing I wanted to mention, and I know you were excited about this, and I think 99.9% of the country is probably excited about watching the Arch Manning debut against the defending national champions. You got number one versus the defending champions. So
I will say this.
Hook 'em. Absolutely. I mean, it's, you know how Texas is my school's rival. We've talked about this many times, but you know how much I like Sark. And we're in the SEC. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? And to show that, I shared this with you off the air, but I want to share it with everybody else. Thing going around social media, Arch Manning text from the King and Norman, Barry Switzer himself, telling him good luck. And King said, I never thought I'd be rooting for Texas, but I am this time. And Texas' other big rival besides Oklahoma, a former coach from A&M, R.C. Slocum, also sent well wishes to Arch. And Arch said, never thought I would see a Sooner and an Aggie rooting for Texas. But thank you very much. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
And
yeah, it's going to be a good one. Texas is number one preseason, and they could get their season started off right with a big win in Columbus tomorrow.
it would be nice that the Ohio State band would have to play Carmen, Ohio first,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Longhorn band plays the Eyes of Texas.
That's right. And not only if you're a football fan, is that going to be a fun game to watch. If you're a band fan, that's going to be a great game to be
Yeah.
at.
Uh,
Anytime you can get those two bands, even one, but especially Ohio State, man, they are the
yeah.
cream of the crop.
Yeah. Uh, I will say this. I wish that would not have the 15-second delay
Mm-hmm.
between the TV and the radio.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I would shut off Gus Johnson and put it on the Varsity Network or the Texas Sports uh, website.
Yeah.
Listen to my buddy Craig Way and Roger Wallace do the ball game for Texas.
If you have
And
Dish Network, you can get away with it like I do because you can pause the television and get
uh,
it to fairly sync up pretty good, or get you
yeah,
a delay radio,
right,
which you can get
yeah,
off of Amazon for not very much. But yeah, I
mhm.
know it gets kind of difficult to listen, and then you're
It's a
listening to
play
the next
behind.
play. Yeah, it's a
It's
total
play
play
behind.
behind
Yeah,
at least one play
and
behind.
I
Yeah.
want to hear uh, Craig if Arch gets loose and can score. I want to say good night to it. Touchdown, Texas.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a fun season to watch Texas, whether they're your rival like mine or not. It's going to be fun to watch them this year.
yep, that's going to do it for week one of the Cover Four podcast. We'll come back. Try to do these on Tuesday, but we
Mm-hmm.
had so much going on this week that we had to hurry up and do it today. So
Yeah,
everybody go out and support your high schools if you're playing tonight, and root on your favorite college team tomorrow if they're opening up the season tomorrow. For my partner, Randy Gibson, I'm Jim Trickett, and we'll talk to you next week on the Cover 4 podcast.